For the beginning, I want to tell you great news. I created with a close friend my very first website, larissalinhart.com. I'm gonna link it down below. You'll find all the tools I offer there, the podcast, all the blogs I uploaded there, where you'll find my thoughts to specific topics. I'll offer coaching sessions to support you where you are standing. I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to tell you that something is wrong with you. I'm simply here to walk with you your own path. So check it out. I'm gonna put the link down below in the show notes. And if you have any suggestions for my podcast, any topic ideas, or any guests you want to see, write it in the contact form on the website. Learn to sit in the uncomfortable and trust that you have the skills already within you to overcome whatever you face. We think that in order to be enough, in order to be successful, in order to deserve love, we have to do more. I am sitting in this beautiful and peaceful garden, and today I want to talk about trust. Trust in life, trust in ourselves, and how I gained more trust in the past few months, and how trust transformed my life. So hey, and welcome back to Unfold with me, your host, Larissa. It's 8 a.m. and a holiday in Switzerland, and something I'm so grateful for, something I've missed a lot in Bali, is the stillness. I'm sitting in the garden, the sun is out, kissing my face, and the only thing I can hear are the birds singing, the bees being, and my cat next to me, chilling with the face in the sun, same as I do. And something I've noticed was that everything I need is already here. Everything we need is already here. The day, the way the day is already perfect. The singing of the birds, it's already perfect. Everything is already here. We just need to come back to ourselves, to come into the stillness in order to hear our own voice or the miracles that life tries to offer to us. Because what happens a lot is that, and it's so normal, it's really normal, it's part of the human experience, I believe, that we lose focus or that we lose the connection with ourselves because we are in a too noisy world. We are doing too many things at the same time. We are constantly surrounded by people or by electronic devices, by checking mails, by watching a YouTube video, by watching Netflix, or trying to read a book at the same time as when we eat, or whatever it is. We think that in order to be enough, in order to be successful, in order to deserve love, we have to do more. We have to work harder, to push even further. We have to go and step over our boundaries. And these are all great abilities to step out of your comfort zone, to push further, to not stay just in the known, because when we go into the unknown, we challenge ourselves, and this is how we grow. But it can also become too much, and that we then feel lost, we feel overwhelmed, we start to feel anxious because we lose the connection towards ourselves. And this is then also the point where so many people get scared to go into stillness, to go into silence, because they don't know what will arise, what thoughts will come, what feelings will come when they start to listen. And I know what I'm talking about, because in Bali I was going to so many silent retreats, or always the same, but every single time before I went there, I was afraid. I was afraid of what silence will bring with it, because I knew that if you're in silence, you can't escape anymore. You're just there. And yes, you can still try to run away, to shut yourself off, but this is where you realize that in the end of the day, it's only you. You and your thoughts, you and your feelings, you and your emotions, and there is no way to run away from it. It will haunt you until you face what you have to face. And when I started to allow myself to fully feel what I have to feel, and when I started to also learn through books I've read to sit in the uncomfortable, we are always trying to seek the happy feelings, the joy, the laughter, just the good moments. And we try to avoid the, let's call it, bad feelings. We try to avoid the sadness, the anger, the frustration, because it feels uncomfortable. And the more we try to push it away and the more we try to avoid it, to run away, the stronger these feelings will get, because every feeling has a lesson to teach you if you let it. And this is what I learned, and this is also the trust I gained, that learn to sit in the uncomfortable and trust that you have the skills already within you to overcome whatever you face. And yes, it's hard. And yes, no one likes that. I didn't like to cry all the time in the silent retreat and to feel my heart really like breaking. It didn't feel comfortable at all. But I learned that when you let it flow and when you allow yourself to lean into life, it will go away. When you let the emotion flow through you, it doesn't mean that your problem is solved or you're not dealing anymore with your finances or with the breakup. But what you're doing is you support your own trust. And I know we always try to control everything. We try to control the outcome. We try to control our emotions. But the more we control, the more we will feel that anxious feeling, that tension in our chest, or the headache we have, or maybe even the arguments at home when you feel angry for no reason. But this all comes from trying to control everything, trying to keep everything together. And it also makes sense because back in the days, control was so essential to survive. And I'm not saying that shut this side off of you. I don't even think that it's able to fully shut it off because, as I said, we're human beings. We all have an ego. We aren't able to shut everything off from our humanity. And I also think that's not the point. But what I think is most important is, first of all, to create awareness. Create awareness of, when do I feel anxious? When do I feel overwhelmed? When do I have the feeling that, oh, now is a moment where I'm trying to micromanage things, where I'm trying to control everything, where I'm already trying to control the outcome? And also, when am I trying to avoid the uncomfortable feeling like anger, sadness, fear, tension? Because without having awareness, you're not going to be able to work on it. And when I say working on it, I don't mean that something is wrong with you that you have to fix, because that's another thing I've learned. And I've learned it from myself as well. I'm constantly trying to get better in whatever, in my own skills, in trusting in life, in being more kind, acting more out of service. Whatever it is, I'm constantly trying to improve myself. But what I also said in one of my episodes is that it can become not like an addiction, but it can become this habit again of trying to do more to feel that you're enough, trying to work harder to get to this point where you feel like, okay, now I'm good, now it's okay to rest. And that's the part I've also learned, that when I say working on it, I don't mean do it because you have to work so hard that you're enough. When I talk about working on it, I mean becoming aware and looking at it with kindness, with compassion, with love. And I think that was the most difficult part for me, to see myself through the eyes of maybe how another loved person would see me. And to forgive myself for sometimes pushing maybe the pain away, and to being okay with, yes, this is part of the human experience and it's part of me, and I want to allow myself to also not fail, but to also not be perfect. And with that, we are already perfect, because there is nothing that is wrong with us. And I know it can be so hard to believe, because we grow up with these beliefs that fix yourself, work on yourself even harder, push yourself further and further, and only then you are someone. And then if someone tells you nothing is wrong with you, you're good the way you are, you're like, what are you saying? Look, I still have to achieve these goals, and how can you say I'm already good the way I am? It's hard for our mind to understand if we learned it differently. But here again, coming back to trust in you, that even if your mind thinks it doesn't make sense, even if you have the feeling that, how will I manage this? How will I figure this out? Trust that you have the skills, and they're maybe hidden somewhere, but you have the skills. And I say it so many times, even if I am talking about these things in my episodes, it's not that I'm telling you something because I'm so wise or I have it all figured out. I am telling you these things, and it's not something that is completely new to you. Yes, maybe you think, oh, I never heard of this, but I believe that as soon as a little light turns on in your mind or in yourself, it's because you remember, because the truth lies within you. And maybe one practical tool that helped me a lot is really meditation. And, you know, stillness can be scary. And you also don't have to sit in a cross-legged position and be still for the next 30 minutes and let everything flow through you. Do something little, go on a walk. Maybe if you can't be without headphones, then turn on some soft music instead of maybe rock and roll. If you can't sit for 10 minutes for a meditation, and if it's hard for you to do a meditation without anything in the background, do a guided one. If you're sitting outside in the garden, instead of scrolling through Instagram on your phone, try to just listen to the noises around you for 30 seconds. And with every little step you take, you will come one step closer to your true self and to your inner wisdom. You will hear your voice, your inner voice, more clearly. And the last thing for today, don't be scared if things will pop up in this stillness. Remember what I said in the beginning, learn to sit in the uncomfortable. And when you allow it to flow it through you, it will go away after around 90 seconds. Don't nail me on that, but I heard that if you allow yourself to let the feeling flow through you, it will flow away just naturally. And with that, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to share the podcast with someone who has to listen to this episode and who needs a little more trust. Don't forget to rate the podcast, that the podcast can grow. This would help me so much. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss out any further episodes. Thank you so much also to my close friend Line for the creation of the website, and for Lexi who did all the pictures, and Rachel who did the great makeup of the shooting. Have a great day or have a good night, and see you on the next Wednesday. Bye!